Hey YouTube, this is my first video in 2 weeks. Today I'm basically just going to go over what I've been learning so far in the Odin project and kind of what's been going on the last couple weeks. Thank you guys for stopping by. Yeah, so this past couple weeks has again been more of covering just the foundation of things. That's the course I'm taking, the foundations section of the Odin project right now. So like I was saying before, kind of what a computer is, what the internet is, really basic stuff. We also installed a virtual machine, so I'll get into that a little bit, and started working on things within that virtual machine. So working the terminal, different ways to sift through files, manage files. Some pretty cool stuff. So I'll get a little bit more into that in this video. Yeah, so to kind of start off with some of the basics, one of the sections that I went over was just how does the web work? So we did different things. I learned different things as far as describing, what the internet is, what's a client, what's a server, what is an IP address, how does one computer basically talk to or communicate with a server, what a DNS server is, some pretty simple, basic, foundational type things, which I'm making it sound easy. I mean, a lot of this stuff, some of the stuff I knew, some of the stuff I didn't know, especially in regards to like some of the more finite details of some of the stuff that we went over. So pretty good information, a lot of information. I mean, hopefully I don't have to remember every single aspect of it moving forward, but I think it's a good place to, a good foundation to build upon for sure. So I mentioned earlier I had to download what they call a virtual machine. So I use Windows. So the Odin project going forward, the coding and different things that we'll be doing, they don't use, or Windows isn't supported by the Odin project. So I had to download and set up and install a virtual machine, which basically what that is, as it says here, virtual machine is an emulation of a computer that runs within your existing OS. So operating system. So pretty interesting. So basically running Linux operating system inside my Windows operating system. I also have the option of doing what they call dual booting, I guess, but felt like that might have been a little risky, especially I'm still new doing stuff like that. I have a lot of important stuff on my computer that I don't want to get deleted somehow, so I decided to just do the simple way of doing a virtual machine. Down the road, if it's better to do like dual booting or even get another computer with a different operating system, so be it. I mean, I'm still beginning and learning, so virtual machine I decided would be the best way to get going, to start. Another thing I had to install and get set up was Google Chrome within the virtual machine, which is pretty interesting how you do it on I guess Linux, as far as just copy and pasting basically the command and putting it in the command line or the terminal, and it basically does it. So that's kind of neat. It's kind of neat seeing how it works within that versus going, doing like you would in like Windows and then, looking it up and then downloading it that way. It's just interesting. Just a different way of doing things and being able to operate and control the computer just through the terminal and the command line. I think that's pretty cool. So we also downloaded and installed Visual Studio Code, which is just a like a virtual or like a text editor basically. I haven't had a chance to use it a whole lot. Before, what I used when I was taking Python for Everybody, they had us use Atom text editor. So I'm used to that one for the most part. I haven't really got my feet wet yet with this one, but I heard this one's pretty popular. So we'll see. We'll get there. We'll get some practice with it coming up. So next, one of the things we've been really getting into, and I'm still working on, I just have the last part to do of this section, but it's talking about using the command line, and more specifically using Shell, which is basically a program where you can type commands and whatnot. Some of the things we've been learning within this section is basically just the introduction to the Shell command line and everything. Learning how to like navigate files and directories, working with files and directories, copying files, adding new files or new folders and directories and stuff in there. The section part that I haven't got to is the pipes and filters part. So once I get to it, I'll get to know a little bit more about that. But yeah, really interesting stuff, really cool. I mean, again, it's, a lot of new information. I think once I get a chance to practice it more, and hopefully, I'm sure I will during the course, I'll kind of get more used to things. But it really interesting how I think it's kind of neat how, again, you can do everything from the command line and not have to actually go and click on a file, click on a folder, right click, create new folder, stuff like that. So it's interesting. I really see the value in learning this stuff. I think it could definitely make your life a lot easier, especially if you work with computers a lot, and as I one day hope to do. So that's pretty much all. That all covers everything, basically. I mean, generally, what I went over these past couple weeks. Just looking forward to continuing to learn more and more. Kind of hope to fully grasp the concepts and ways of going about like the command line and working within a virtual machine, and yeah, just continue to pick everything up and can just continue to add on the skill set and build off from the basic foundations. I really like how everything's laid out in this course. Everything's information is organized pretty well. And it's not just giving you information. There's also encouragement. This is what you should expect. Yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying the course, and just continuing to learn more here. So I appreciate you guys checking my video out. Thank you guys for those of y'all that have been following me along my journey so far. One of these days, maybe I'll be making a lot more professional videos and talking about how I'm making 6+ figures in tech and coding and being a software engineer. Maybe hopefully one of these days. But like I said, I'm working from the ground up here. So you just got to stick with it little by little. But thank you guys for your support, and thank you again for checking out this video. Y'all have a good one. Bye.